Black metal greetings here from Rauta. This time we go all the way to Ukraine for some black metal. And this is an interesting case. First of all, the name Precambrian refers to a certain geological age of planet Earth, which roughly takes 88% or some shit of the whole age of the whole planet. That is basically the era when the whole planet became, solid and kind of a hospitable place. That is, lavas started to cool down and all that stuff. So it's very, very geological term. Not exactly a term you would expect to find in a black metal band. Also, this album name Tectonics relates to geology. Not to mention all these titles here on the album. So we could pretty much say that this is a geological black metal band. Very much in the same way as we consider Immortal from Norway to be kind of a weather or winter oriented black metal band. And that's pretty interesting. I mean, people who are expecting certain kind of a satanic black metal or whatever, they're gonna get disappointed. And now I managed to break this jewel case here, or at least the CD tray. And for what? So I can show you black inlay image. Well, that's how it is. That's how you unbox CDs with force. Now, this is an album that came out in late August, and I got it even a bit later, so that's why we're already a little bit late with this album, but here it goes. No lyrics whatsoever, very, very minimal recording information. So that's pretty much what we have here. However, our friend Metal Archives helps us out with the basic information, that is to give you a little bit of indication when this band was formed and who are the members of the band, and that's how it gets more interesting, because if we take a look at this band lineup information, you can pretty much see bands like Drudkh, you can see Hate Forest, Blood of Kingu, Windswept, and well, other names that are more or less related to this particular band. So lots of names here, and you can see that these guys have been operating more or less together with almost all of these bands, including Rattenfänger, the death metal project by these guys. Also Deliberate Chaos, the progressive metal band. But most of these guys are obviously known for Drudkh, and that's, I guess, what defines this band more than others. It's a kind of a Drudkh side project. And given that the band has existed for a few years, but as kind of a side project that is probably overrun by these other more important bands, that's what I'm assuming anyway, Tectonics is now the first full-length album, and that's pretty much of it. 13 minutes exactly. This little bit difference here might be because of some CD players measure the total time a little bit different, but in my CD player, which is an old Cambridge CD player, it's exactly 30 minutes. And it's curious because I don't know if there is some significance to this time, but I guess it could be, because all these tracks end very abruptly. It's like as if they're like going on, and boom, then they hit the wall, and it ends like that. Now, I don't know why, because some people might be guessing, because they didn't know how to finish a song, but that's kind of untrue, given that these guys have so much experience with various bands, so I very much doubt that. And also because it's not a thing that happens on one song or two, but basically all of the songs. So there must be some sort of a meaning which is not there to be revealed. Why so? But besides that, I think this is an interesting thing, because the first spin I gave this album to was something like, it's fast tempo black metal, kind of a messy, kind of a unclear sound, and that's pretty much of it, including some kind of a death metal growly vocals, as well as those more mushy, screamier kind of a vocals, or shrieky more like. But when I got it into the album more than a couple of spins, and I started to kind of notice nuances, which then again made me respect this album a bit more, because after all, even though there is this kind of a very, not exactly dissonant, but sort of a kind of a atmosphere that it's not changing too much. It's pretty much like this cover image. You stare at these rock features and all you see is just a bunch of rocks. But once you start looking at them kind of more deeply, you start to realize these forms, these layers, these details, these like a dry streams or something. So it becomes more interesting than just staring at a pile of rock. So in my opinion, it's kind of a multi-layered an album, which is then again more interesting than just call it fast tempo black metal. But to be honest, I still can't get rid of the feeling that with a little bit more powerful, more distinct and more clear production, this album could be even more stronger. Now, when it comes to the vocals, I know it's just a matter of taste. For me, these kind of deep, growly vocals actually work nicely. But people who are coming from stronger, well, not maybe stronger black metal background, but say they have less experience in death metal, they might even get this kind of allergic reaction to these vocals because they are not something that you are used to in black metal. But I think it works just nicely and it creates yet another layer to this music. So in order to kind of break the pattern, so to speak. Now, this album is already out, like mentioned, and there is the whole link to this album, whole album, I mean, on the Primitive Reaction, the label site. So you can pretty much just give it a listen and figure out if it's your cup of tea. Very minimal information is provided online as well as on this Metal Archive site or on the album. So in case you want to just go deeper, you probably have to do a lot of Googling and to get that stuff in order to figure out. But maybe it's just point to focus on the music and let your imagination do the tricks. I mean, focus on earth, geology, nature, rocks, and then some black metal. And enjoy! Thank you for watching the video. See you and bye bye.